Hey guys, Jeffries here, and welcome to... That's right guys, we are back in the new city. I'm just going to save my game very quickly because I've just made some huge changes since the last episode. One of which, you can kind of see, we now have vehicles running in both directions around this city auto loop. And I think both lines have been renamed. Nope, I need to rename that one still. I had a game crash just now as well, so I'm still in the process of recovering from that. There we go. So we have two city auto loops now. We have City Centre Plus and City Centre Minus, and they do, as you might suspect, they go around clockwise and anti-clockwise around this city centre. Whilst off camera, I did a couple of changes to this part of the city, trying to build it up again, but I didn't really like what I did, so a lot of it, as you might be able to see, is actually being rebuilt, in the process of being rebuilt, which is kind of what I'm going to start today's episode by doing, is actually building the next set of platforms for the City Auto network. Although that's always easier said than done. When you're working with hillsides like this, the landscape is very unpredictable, as you might be able to see. In fact, this is going to be a very ugly station. The curves are all off, the slopes are all over the place. Just overall it doesn't look particularly nice. But I'm going to ignore that for now. I am going to ignore that for now because we are going to focus on today's episode, which is going to involve working above ground, which is kind of what I'm doing here now. Let's just work on this side for now. So this is going to be the above ground section of this complex. We're going to get rid of that building there, and we're actually going to build streets out in these directions like so. This is all going to be highly built upon, this area. The only parts that won't be are where the track is exposed over here. The rest of this will become a fully built up area of city growth. And I need to not build that where it will be intercepted. See if I can build that slope like that, and that slope like that, and that won't be built across there. Is there a slope in the way? Ah, I think it's because of the slope of the land. It's going to make it awkward. Can I do it like that? No. Can I do it this way around? Again, no. In that case I'm going to have to rebuild this section. In fact, why don't I just rebuild this entire section? I'm a little bit stuck for money at the moment because of... Whoops. No, 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 no. That is one of the peeves I have with this game, is when you try and build above tunnels. There we go. Now if I build this one, say I stretch it down there, I should be able to build this one across. There we go, that's much better. And this is all going to start to be built upon, and this is going to turn into the main part of our new suburb. We're going to have a brand new suburb in this part of the city. That's not letting me build across here for some reason. I don't know why that is. That's letting me build across there though. It's just strange sometimes the way this landscape works. Right, so I want that to go across like that. I want that to go across the railway like that. This should just be able to go in a straight line. In fact, this one we can connect down here, and this one we kind of can as well, but we have to can I build out like that? Like that, and no, okay. Like this maybe? It's being deliberately awkward. There we go. So it's a bit sloped, goes up and down like that. But there you go, it's built. I'm going to build a section here, going across like that. And somewhere over here I'll build another section. See if I can build that in a straight line to there, build that down like that. So this is going to be the main area that the new suburb is going to be built into. Some of these roads might be replaced with, or some of these pathways I should say, might be replaced with actual roads at some point in the future, but for now I'm quite happy just to build a grid path pattern. That should avoid tunnels. Yep, cool. I should be able to fit one in down here as well. See if I can curve that one into there. Any bridges or anything? Nope. Fantastic. And then if I just build one across there like that, because I'm lazy. This is all starting to look really cool. I'm liking this. But this is also going to be the hub of our tramways. And we're going to have quite a few tramways in this part of the city, and they're going to be built in this section here. So we're going to have the City Auto Hub built underneath, and the Tram Hub built on top. Now, I've recently come back from a trip to Amsterdam. It's one of the reasons why there were no videos last week, because I couldn't get them edited and done on time before I left. And that's also why you might have seen a tweet that I put saying, I think it's this, something along the lines of Amsterdam, here I come. That's why I went to Amsterdam. Had a really good time in Amsterdam, actually. It's a very nice city. But one of the things that really caught my attention was the way in which they've built their transport network, because as you might suspect, Amsterdam is mostly built on water. This city is not built on water to the same extent. We've got this river that runs through the middle, but imagine every other one of these streets is a canal. That's Amsterdam. That's exactly what Amsterdam is like. In fact, a lot of the streets in Amsterdam are former canals that have been filled in. So it's safe to say that Amsterdam swims quite a lot. And yet, they have what I think it's either one of Europe's or Europe's biggest tram systems. And it works. It's a really manic system when you actually look at it from the surface. But once you sort of get on board and you explore it a little bit more, you realise that it's kind of like order from chaos. It really is the strangest way of doing things I've ever seen. But it works. And it works flawlessly too. So that is something that I would like to adapt into this city, is a fully working Amsterdam-inspired tram system. If any of my viewers are from Amsterdam or have been to Amsterdam, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say about this. Yeah, it's what I want to do really in today's episode, is sort of set up the idea of the new tram system. And so the way it works in Amsterdam is virtually every tram line goes from the central station. We don't have a central station here. The best we have is this area. Because it's a brand new area, we can build it exactly how we like. Pretty much the same as with the City Auto network. I want the tramway to originate in this block here. I don't want to put many space constraints on myself just yet, because we've barely even started construction. What I am going to do is sort of map out vaguely where I want things to go. So we're going to draw, say, a straight line like this, and a straight line like this, and sort of connect them up. Oh, well, that's interesting. Will let me do it like that? No. They will let me do it like that. Okay, maybe not do it like that. I kind of want to get some tram lines done in today's episode, but at the same time, because I've just took out a massive loan, we're not making any money at the moment, so this is where the money is hopefully going to come from to pay for this, is from the system itself, which it puts the pressure on to actually get it up and running almost immediately. And the biggest problem is this stretch of line here. So I'm going to see if I can actually rebuild this line to drop underneath. Yeah, like that. Right, tram depot's complaining it hasn't got enough vehicles. That actually could be true. Again, because of the new line, we've had to buy more vehicles. Yes, we have to buy more vehicles again. So we have 20 trams operating from this depot now. And once this new system is open, we'll have even more trams operating in the city. I haven't decided what type of tram I want in the city yet. But it's going to be definitely just better than what we've got at the moment. Because I'm not a huge fan of the railcads. I use them a lot because they're practical. But overall, I'd much rather have a different type of tram operating in my city. But it's just a matter of what you have available at the time. Right, that's not supposed to happen. No bridges. Ugh, we got that tiny little bridge. I think it's just because it has a sudden drop in the land. I can't really change that too much. But it gives people a reason to actually come to this part of the city now. So these city auto lines should start building in popularity as this goes on. See if I can build a connection on this side. Maybe if I I can build that one like that. Can I build this one over here? I can. I can build it directly above. So we've got kind of like a floating walkway there, but it covers some more of the tram tracks, so I can live with that. And we could also have this sort of branch off this way and join up over there. And yeah, that looks nicer. Okay, I'm wasting time. Sorry guys. I'm distracting myself with absolutely nothing that I should be distracting myself with. So, a lot of these pedestrian walkways, this one especially, is going to be a tram output. And we might have another one on this section here, perhaps. Some of these roads here still need to be upgraded to avenues, but I'm going to focus purely at the moment on actually running tram tracks down into this main part of the city via this avenue here. So, I need to build the tram hub, and I keep saying that, and then I never actually do it. So I need to build this. Hate tunnels. And yet, actually, one of the big things I've been looking forward to on City Skylines is tunnels, and yet on this game I hate them so much. It's funny, really, how that works. There we go. There we go. Okay. In fact, sorry guys, I know, I keep doing this over and over. We want this as a one-way, no wait, we want these as one-way streets. So that one to there, without the tunnel. In a minute, I will get this right. There we go. And this one coming this way, again, without tunnels. Now I need to rebuild this one so that it's the same length, otherwise it's not going to work. There. Now, here I'm just going to build a pathway across for now. And here I'm just going to build a pathway across for now. Without the tunnel. In fact, that's fine, because I can now build this one. So this is going to be a two-lane, one-way street, like that. I'm going to delete that, we're going to delete that, because these are going to be one-lane, one-way streets, which connect up like so. And you can kind of see where this is starting to go. Each one of these is a tram stop. They're going to be built fairly close together, but wide enough apart so that you can actually fit trams in these gaps. So we're going to have a final one there. Bit of a weird slope, that one, but for now it'll have to do. We're going to do the same on this side, because all tram lines are going to leave from this one interchange. Every single tram line in the city, maybe one or two won't, but the vast majority of them are going to come from this one hub. Now this is going to curve this way, and this is going to head down this way. Once it gets to here, we'll sort something out. This one is going to go along like this. It's then going to curve down here, go down all of these streets, connect there, and connect there. And all of these are going to connect up, like so. This is also going to continue this way and connect up down here via all of these, which is then going to go in a straight line down this way, and either connect this way or connect back to this one, which itself is going to run onto a set of tracks that run off in this direction. And that is how this is going to work. This I'm also going to run like so. I feel like I'm missing something here, but I'm not sure if I actually am. That's a one-way street, isn't it? So that doesn't really work. What I'm going to do actually is delete that and do this properly. So that's going to go like that, and that's going to go like that. Because there's access to both, oh, that's what I need to do, like that. There we go. So because there's access to both inputs now, this output can be specified as to where the trams actually go. Now it's just a question of connecting up all these little side sections like so. And that's it. That's our tram hub. It looks ugly. It looks just horrendous at the moment, but hopefully in the future it will look a lot better. I can connect that bit up down there, and that's now become a straight walkway all the way up to the City Auto lines. These bits here I could probably link up too, so that one to there and this one down to there. I need to get rid of that tunnel. This could be a problem actually with this landscape, because it says the slope is too steep, so there will always be a tunnel there. So I'm going to delete that. I'm actually going to build this going over this, and we'll have it attached there. There we go. I don't mind some bridges when it looks like that, because that makes the whole place look a little bit more picturesque. It's just, overall, I'd rather not have them if I can help it. So now we've got to put the stations in, or the stops. We're going to put the stops mainly towards the ends of these little side streets. It's slightly annoying that they go opposite one another like this, rather than on the same side of the road, but, you know, I can't help that. The only thing I'm really worried about is the aesthetics of the trams going around these corners. But again, in Amsterdam, they manage it. So over here, they should also be able to manage it. The final thing, really, that I want to do is actually clear my throat, because that sounds horrendous. But actually start building the first tram line, because it's about time. So this tram line is going to focus primarily on serving the heart of the city, heading in this direction. And it's going to follow this main road. At occasional points like this, it's going to run down the middle of the street. That's absolutely fine. Not every one of these streets has to be upgraded to avenues. The only ones that I have really upgraded are the ones that I could at the time. The rest of them, I'm not too bothered. And that feels like my computer is frozen, which doesn't feel good. 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can sort this out. That really is not good. Okay, I've managed to get that running. Okay guys, I'm going to try and fix this. I'll be back in a second, just bear with me. Okay guys, hopefully this has fixed it. I've had to do some rebooting and stuff like that. Let me just turn my fan off, there we go. I had to rebuild all of this area as well, so it probably looks a lot messier now than it was, because I had to sort of do it quite quickly. There are some bits here that look really bad, and I'd like to change probably as soon as possible, really. Even there, look, that just bit comes out from underground and goes back in again. We'll try and hide that with buildings, maybe. But overall, I'm a lot happier with how this is looking. I've rebuilt the tram hub, you can see it's here. Not many buildings built on top of it just yet, but that might change in the future. We're going to put some cross paths away along here as well, maybe even another road that comes down here. But overall, we're actually ready to start putting the track in again like we had just now. So let's get on and do this again, shall we? Again, we've got some weird tight corners, but they used to bother me. But I've seen so many of them in real life now that it just doesn't really faze me anymore. Again with this, in terms of on-street and not on-street running, that's kind of what I was in the middle of explaining when the game decided to crash on me. Not all roads need to be upgraded to avenues, some can just stay as they are. And one thing that I will be incorporating into this network, which I was advised not to before, but I think actually it's necessary, and I'm going to be doing it around this block here. What I'm going to be building is a loop. My loop is going to look something a little bit like that, and it's just so that trams can actually terminate. I'm going to upgrade this stop. Let's put it to the lower of the ones. There we go. So now trams can stop there as well. We're also going to put some tram stops all the way down here. We're going to put them right opposite each other, because again that's how they do things in Europe. I'm going to try not to copy everything that the Dutch do, but I look at their system and it looks so chaos filled, and yet it works. So there's something about it that I should be taking inspiration from, definitely, and that is what I'm going to try and do here. Now these ones, you can see we can't put stops there, but that's fine because we can just put stops down on this next avenue section and that will make up for it. So we can have one, let's do one there, one there. That should get people moving. Once we get into this part of the city, we can start spreading out stops a little bit further, so we can put them there and there. And we're at this point now where they really can be spread out a lot more. So there and there. And I think I can actually fit another couple in. I'm going to change this road here to be parking space ones. Like that. Have I just crashed the game again? Hang on, let me just check. No. The screen might have gone black. If the screen's gone black, you'll have to bear with me. I'll explain in more detail what I am doing. So I'm just placing these tram stops in. I've upgraded that road. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to start and stop the recording again just to make sure it's definitely working. So bear with me, guys. Okay, I think this is my desktop's way of telling me that I shouldn't go away on holiday and leave it alone for too long, because this is really bad. But we are back again. We're back again, and hopefully this time it will work fully. Right. Last piece of the puzzle. We put the last stop in, last set of stops. This is all connected up now and looks quite nice. We've got some sharp curves, but they're not going to bother me as much as they used to. They're not going to. I'm not going to let them. What I do need to do now, though, is put the actual stop in. Depot. That's the word. I need to put the tram depot in. And I really am debating where to put it. I want to put it over this side and then have maybe a loop system going around like this. I don't think that's going to work. So I think actually the best place I can put it is so that it's linked to this junction here and just runs up, along, and then in. I think that would be the best way of doing it. We'll have one for each side as well. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 stops here. Same on this side. So technically 4 lines served by each depot. Why is this saying it hasn't got enough vehicles again? It should have 20. Oh no, it's only got 10 again. Did I not? Right, I'm going to reboot these lines whilst I'm here as well. This needs to be centre plus. There's definitely there's more signs of rush hours working when the time zone's set like this as well, which is a good thing. You get passengers moving a lot faster around the city. I'm going to do the ugly saving again just because I don't trust this. Don't trust this system right now to actually be working properly. I keep getting this feeling it's going to crash on me over and over. Right, tram stops, tram depots, not stops, tram depots. Let's see if we can put one. Well, we can put one there. That's good. So we'll have one there. I'd like to put one. See, I could put one there, but then it's the crossing of tracks. It's going to be ugly. So maybe the second one I could put over here. So I can have one on each side, like this. And then this can just run up and onto that street like that. This one will run down and onto this street like that. There we go. Now I've got to put the actual stops in up here for these. So I'm going to put them in the middle actually. I put them on the edges last time round. I'm going to put them in the middle this time. Because I'm hoping the way this system works, we've had some city auto vehicles queuing, but the buses, I mean the buses always misbehave, so I'm not going to use that as an example. The actual tram system seems to be working okay, the city auto line anyway, with the current idea of having stops and it looping round. I don't know how it's going to respond once we've got all of these loops working, but for now I'm going to work with what we've got. I'm also going to phase out perhaps one of my most popular, least popular ideas, which is to have all the lines named by colour. So, you know, maroon, sapphire, things like that. I might still keep it for the bus lines, but for this I'm going to go for something a bit different. I'm just going to call them by certain numbers. So let's say the trams will be routes 1 to, let's say 30. And then metro will be 31 to, let's say 40, and we'll go up like that. So this is going to be route 1. And it's going to be named as simply as that. We're going to timetable it the same as the Sapphire line. Like so. And we're going to start mapping it out. So it's going to run from this depot here to this stop here. We're actually going to run it into the nearest stop to the city auto line, just to try and get passengers moving. And we're then going to run it out onto the street and up into the heart of the city itself. Now, something else that Amsterdam do, which I'd like to try and incorporate, that's not a word, incorporate, that's the one, into this city, is lots of tram lines use more than one tram line uses a track, that's what I want to say, and uses a stop. And it's again, it's weird when you look at it, because what you actually see is one of the things I wanted to avoid in my cities, which is just a series of trams chasing one another around the city. But in practicality, when you want to get to different places, say you're at the central station, and I mean, we wanted to get to the zoo, which is on line 9, but for the first part of the journey it chases a few of the other lines around the city. It actually is a very, very good way of doing that. Because eventually they all start branching off and going their separate way, but you get on the line you want from its origin, which in our case was the central station. Whereas if you wanted to go somewhere else, you'd get on the same tram that runs on the same route, but eventually branches off and goes its own way, and that's when you want it for. So it's a really weird system, but it seems to work, and it's not really a mechanic that's been brought into this game, unfortunately, which means you do miss out on it. But overall, it's a clever idea, and it does work. So we're going to incorporate that into this network. So at the moment we've got this one line that goes right through the heart of the city, but eventually one of these junctions I'm going to have it diverge, and I'm going to have two separate lines going off in two separate directions. Now the best place for that is probably here, maybe, before it actually goes into the heart of the city itself. So I'm going to do that now. I'm actually going to build this second line now as well. And you can see how it will diverge off. This will be proper on-street running, this section. And again, we might have it turn some of these curves. No problems with that. Quite happy for it to do that. We've got a nice little interchange here with a city auto line. I'm then going to have it run probably this way, actually, and then end up onto this section. Just looking to see, that could work. Let's do that. So we'll have it run down here. We've got a tight curve there, but we should be able to combat that. We've got this strange... Actually, yeah, I don't like that. Alright, veto that idea. We'll have it carry on down the road it was on. Down this way. Maybe have it come this way. Come this way. So now it's actually running back in the opposite direction to where it first began. But again, it's not a bad idea to have it do that. It actually turns out to be a pretty cool idea to have it do that. And we'll have the loop here. This is the bit that's annoying, because you have to go from outside to inside, and then inside to inside, and then inside to outside, just to get the... No, it was alright the way it was. So like that, and then have that tight curve at the end. And actually even this looks cool. Even this looks cool. I can live with this. Go around and upgrade these stops here. So that one needs upgrading. This one here needs upgrading. I think it was that just those two actually. Yeah, looked like it was just those two. And we're going to build these other stops directly opposite. So that one there directly opposite it, and this one here directly opposite. And then we're going to carry on. So we're going to have one there, one there. This is the loop here. So we'll put one on that part of the... No, wait. No. Put it on this part of the loop here. And in terms of other stops, I think actually maybe I could put one here or one here. That's the thing, these ones are close enough together but they're also far enough apart. That's quite frustrating. Alright, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Just going to leave it as it is. And this is going to be route 2, so let's do that. Like so. Now we're going to timetable it the same again as the Sapphire line. I'm not going to worry too much about deviations just yet in terms of the clock, because I think at the moment these are actually running perfectly fine. There's no need for them to diverge. So this is going to again follow this line round until this part here, where it's then going to turn off and run onto its own designated route. This line's going to be extended in the future. It's going to carry on down this way and maybe even sort of come across here somehow, maybe a couple of turns. But for now it's going to terminate down here. We're going to leave expansion opportunities. What we could actually do is have this line still terminate and just build a new line that follows the route and carries on. That's kind of what they've done in Amsterdam. And I know I keep using Amsterdam as an example, and you guys probably tearing your hair out because there's other cities around the world that do it. I can't remember the Geneva system that much actually. It's been a fair few years since I was in Switzerland, so that one does slip the mind. I only really use Amsterdam as an example because I was there over the weekend, so I've seen it for myself. I know how it works. Any other systems that I travel to in the future, of course I'll incorporate those ideas in. But for now, because I haven't actually been there and seen it myself, I'm just going to carry on using the examples I know, and Amsterdam is top of that list. So that's why, basically, that's why I keep going on about Amsterdam and the ideas that they've used. So they do have some lines that terminate in sort of like public squares, and then there's other lines that have been built since that line was built that extend further on. Use the same tracks, and instead of terminating there, they go on a new extension that extends further in whatever direction that line was heading in. And it's a proving system. It does really work. There's an automated system, I assume it's automated anyway, that detects which tram is which, so the tracks can be switched accordingly. And yeah, it's a really nice system. So it's definitely worth trying to incorporate in. And tell you what, guys, because it's a special episode today for no other reason than I want it to be, we're going to build a third tram line. And this one's going to extend down into this part of the city and pick up passengers. I'm completely building that in the wrong part of the road. Excuse me, guys. Apologies for that. There we go. Right. Try again, shall we? That's better. Okay, so we're going to head down this way like so. We're going to keep heading onto this bit of road here, and we're basically going to follow this stretch of road all the way down like this. We're going to head across this junction all the way down like this, like so, and we're going to loop around. Yeah, I think we're going to loop around this one here. This looks like a good place for a loop. It's going to go like that, it's going to go like that, it's going to go like that, and then it's going to go like that and loop around. We're going to have a stop on, I'm going to say this street here. We're going to have another set of stops on this street here. Another couple on this street here. Let's go for this street here, so it kind of interchanges with the City Auto line again. We're going to have one here, and that's going to be upgraded, that one. That's the old bus stop that we should have integrated when we redid the bus, but I missed it out completely for some reason. And we're going to have a final pair there. And as I'm sure a lot of you have already guessed, this line is going to be simply known as Route 3. Like so. Once again, let's do timetable first. We could timetable it the same. So at this point we are going to have lots of trams chasing each other around, but that's always something that we can amend as and when necessary. But yeah, this line is going to come down this way, and it's going to meet up with all these main points here. It's going to reach the terminus, and it's going to loop back. And I think this is going to be the last line of the episode, guys. Today is Friday, or at least hopefully today's episode is Friday's episode. Wednesday's episode might be moved to Friday's episode because I'm having network problems at the time of recording this episode. So if I can even get it edited and uploaded, I'll be happy. But there's no guarantee as to when things are going up at the moment. They're just going up as and when I can actually do them. So I do apologise for that. It is a problem I'm trying to fix. So hopefully in the near future it won't be an issue. But for now at least, that's it for this episode. That is it for these routes. I'm really happy with how this is starting to look. There's a couple of things that do annoy me still, like these little crossovers. But again, if you've ever been to Amsterdam, if you look at the central station tram stop, it is a right royal mess. Someone somewhere signed off on that design, and I'd like to know who it was so that I can specifically tell them face to face that they've made a right royal mess of it. Because it's not particularly nice to look at, but it's practical and it's functional, and I'm pretty sure that's why it was actually built the way it was. So overall, that's kind of what the design I'm going for here now. It might not look the best, but it's practical and it's functional. And if you actually look at the City Auto network, it's starting to have an impact on that too. This tram is full. So yes, very pleased. Very, very pleased. And overall, with the city itself, we're starting to get more and more passengers on board, which I'm pleased with. So I'm going to monitor this off camera. I might add a couple more tram lines in, but I haven't fully decided where and what exactly they're going to be, so you'll have to bear with me on that one. But when we come back next time, whenever that is, hopefully it'll be Monday. If not, then I'll keep you guys posted on Twitter as to what's happening. So if any reason to follow me on Twitter, that's probably the top of the list. So do feel free to hop over there. I will let you know as soon as uploads are going to happen. If there's any problems, I'll definitely let you know. If there's no messages, then assume everything's gone to plan and the videos will be going up as normal. But until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I will see you soon.